Sometimes the night feels long, and thoughts feel scattered. We lie down thinking about one simple thing, and yet, quietly, gently, the mind begins to wander from the stars to the sea, from ancient cities to the human heart, from small daily habits to the great mysteries of the world. Tonight, I invite you not to hold these thoughts back. Let them flow freely, like a calm river of knowledge, moving softly from one fact to another, from one discovery to the next. We will talk about how our world lives and breathes, about people and animals, about science and history, about coincidences that quietly changed the course of civilization. Some things will sound familiar. Others may surprise even the most curious minds. Welcome, my dear friends, to the official channel of Sleep Lectures. Welcome to a space where dreams gently turn into knowledge, and this calm voice guides you through the night. Thank you for your warmth in the comments, and special thanks to our sponsors and to everyone who supports the channel through Super Thanks. It truly helps the channel grow, and honestly, it brings joy to the creator every single time. If you haven't yet, you can subscribe to the channel now, before sleep slowly takes you. And now, make yourself comfortable. Close your eyes. Breathe gently. We begin. Samsung began not as an electronics company, but as a small trading business, selling dried fish and noodles, long before it entered the world of technology. The human brain can perceive time in very different ways. During fear, seconds feel longer, because the brain processes information much faster. Some volcanoes do not erupt with lava at all. Instead, they release mud and cold gases. These eruptions can be just as destructive. The French President François Mitterrand secretly maintained a second family. The country learned about it only after his death. McDonald's owns one of the largest real estate networks in the world, earning more from renting land than from selling food itself. The human body cannot directly feel humidity. Instead, the brain estimates it by how quickly moisture evaporates from the skin. There have been moments in history when countries accidentally declared war on each other because of a mistranslated word or a mistake in a telegram. John Adams became the first U.S. president to live in the White House when it was still unfinished and had no heating. SpaceX uses rocket components that return to Earth repeatedly, something that not long ago was considered impossible in rocket engineering. Some species of fungi are capable of breaking down plastic and even using it as a source of food. The human body spends more energy maintaining its internal temperature than on any physical activity while at rest. Theodore Roosevelt wrote more than 30 books while simultaneously pursuing a political career. IKEA deliberately gives its products complex names to avoid trademark conflicts around the world. In the mountains, sound can return with a delay of several seconds. This is not an echo, but reflections from distant slopes. The brain continues making decisions during sleep, which explains dreams where we act logically without realizing we are dreaming. Richard Nixon played the piano and sometimes did so late at night in the White House, using music to release tension. Under extreme stress, the human body can numb its own pain. The brain releases large amounts of endorphins, allowing a person to temporarily ignore serious injuries. In 1835, an assassination attempt was made on President Andrew Jackson. Both pistols misfired one after the other, an event historians consider an extraordinary coincidence. Ford was among the first companies to introduce assembly line production, reducing car manufacturing time from more than 12 hours to about 90 minutes. In nature, there is a rare phenomenon known as ice flowers. Under specific conditions, ice forms delicate patterns resembling petals. The human brain consumes a large amount of energy during intense mental activity because processing new information requires high neural engagement. Napoleon Bonaparte, despite his image as a cold military strategist, was known to strongly dislike cats. Coca-Cola was originally sold as a tonic and did contain coca leaf extract before its formula was changed. Blood circulates through the human body in about 1 minute, constantly delivering oxygen to tissues. Some plants respond to touch by folding their leaves. This is a defensive mechanism, not emotion in the human sense. Lyndon B. Johnson often held informal political discussions by the pool, believing that people speak more honestly in relaxed environments. Tesla is named after inventor Nikola Tesla, whose ideas became the foundation for modern electric motors. In the early stages of dehydration, the body may confuse thirst with hunger, causing people to eat instead of drink water. The oceans contain currents that move in opposite directions at different depths, forming underwater rivers. Dwight D. Eisenhower painted in his free time and created more than 200 artworks. YouTube was originally designed as a video dating website. When the idea failed, the platform was completely reimagined. The brain itself does not feel pain. Pain signals come from nerves and tissues, while the brain remains insensitive. Cosmic dust constantly falls to Earth. Every year, thousands of tons of microscopic particles settle on the planet from space. Some people can taste words or see colors when hearing sounds. This phenomenon is called synesthesia and results from unusual neural connections. Skin cells completely renew themselves in about a month. We are constantly changing our outer layer without noticing it, even in total darkness. The eyes continue sending signals to the brain. This internal visual noise later becomes the basis for dream imagery. The human body contains enough iron to make a small nail. Most of it is found in the blood. Some trees communicate with one another through underground fungal networks, sharing nutrients and chemical signals. Time feels faster with age, not because it actually speeds up, but because the brain encounters fewer new experiences and records fewer detailed memories. Deep within the earth, pressure is so extreme that matter behaves differently than on the surface, forming states impossible to recreate in laboratories. The human body can detect temperature differences, of less than 1 degree, when changes occur gradually. The first lie detector was created in 1921 by psychology student John Larson. It measured pulse and breathing, a principle that remains largely unchanged today. General Electric played a role in developing the electric chair and at the same time invented the first commercial refrigerator. And as these quiet facts continue to drift through your mind, there is no need to remember them all. Let them pass gently. Let curiosity soften into calm, and allow sleep to come naturally, one slow breath at a time, to extremes of the same era, quietly existing side by side. Some fungi are capable of infecting trees and subtly controlling them, forcing the plant to redirect nutrients toward the infected areas, as if the parasite were building its own private supply system inside the host. At the beginning of the 20th century, the famous detective Alan Pinkerton, founder of the agency that still bears his name, was fatally infected by a mosquito bite. A tragique ironie for a man who survived dozens of assassination attempts. On the moon, there are footprints that will remain untouched for millions of years. There is no wind, nor rain, nothing capable of erasing them. The company Bayer, widely known for aspirin, once produced heroin syrup as an over-the-counter cough medicine. The human body contains enough carbon to make around 9,000 pencils. During the time of the alchemists, autopsies were forbidden. Because of this, many anatomical discoveries were made secretly at night in the basements of universities. In the 1950s, psychologist Solomon Asch conducted an experiment showing that most people will agree with an obvious falsehood if the group believes it. This experiment became a cornerstone of social psychology. Some glaciers can sing. As layers of ice slowly move, they create low-frequency vibrations that can be heard from tens of kilometers away. U.S. President Ulysses Grant was once arrested for speeding on horseback. He paid the fine without claiming any privileges. Nestle once produced not chocolate, but infant formula, and nearly lost its reputation due to advertising campaigns that led to tragic consequences in developing countries. In Jupiter's atmosphere, storms rain down crystals of ammonia, while on Venus, thunderstorms of sulfuric acid may occur. The human brain is capable of solving problems during sleep. Scientists have documented cases where solutions appeared in dreams and were confirmed after waking. Shortest wars to read that twin great. Britain and Zanzibar in 1896. Google began as a university project created by 2 graduate students. And the first server was assembled from parts bought at a flea market. In ancient Babylon, medical contracts existed in which doctors were personally responsible for the outcome of surgery. If a patient died, the doctor could lose a hand. The human body preserves microscopic traces of every virus it has ever encountered. By studying this memory, immunologists can reconstruct a person's history of illnesses. Some areas of the ocean are completely devoid of life. These are called dead zones. They lack oxygen, and even bacteria struggle to survive there. Not all deserts are made of sand. Antarctica is considered the largest desert in the world due to its extremely low precipitation. Cannon received its name from the Buddhist deity canon, later adapting it for the international market. The human heart does not beat with perfect regularity. Slight irregularity is actually a sign of health, not a disorder. In the Middle Ages, salt was so valuable that soldiers were sometimes paid with it. From this practice came the word salary. U.S. President George W. Bush was the first president to officially use email in the work of the White House. Some species of jellyfish have no brain, yet they can learn and change behavior based on experience. Sony helped establish the compact disc standard, together with Philips, choosing the size of the CD. Südwest dit Kulold, Beethoven's Ninth Symphony in full. The human brain can create the sensation that someone is nearby, even when no one is there, disilinked to disruptions in the parietal lobe. There were periods in history when books were banned, not for their ideas, but because they distracted people from work and prayer. U.S. President James Polk fulfilled every promise of his campaign in a single term and chose not to run again. Some plants can change the direction of root growth in response to the sound of flowing water. IBM existed long before computers, producing tabulating machines used for processing census data. The human body begins preparing for sleep long before a person lies down. Hormone levels start changing hours in advance. In ancient Rome, laws limited the luxury of clothing to reduce visible social inequality. Franklin Pierce became the only U.S. president, tot office, without swearing the oath on a Bible. Some mountain lakes remain unfrozen in winter due to underwater thermal springs. Lego engineered its plastic bricks with such precision that pieces made decades ago remain compatible with modern ones. The brain can partially shut down hearing during sleep, yet it continues to respond to meaningful sounds, such as your own name. During the age of great geographic discoveries, maps were intentionally decorated with mythical creatures to frighten competitors away. John Tyler became the first U.S. president to assume office without an election after the death of his predecessor. The human heart beats about 100,000 times a day, pumping nearly 200 million liters of blood over a lifetime. In ancient China, civil service exams tested not only knowledge, but also calligraphy. Handwriting was believed to reflect character. Nike began as a distributor of Japanese athletic shoes, and its famous swoosh logo was purchased from a student designer for just $35. Some birds can see the Earth's magnetic field. Their eyes contain proteins that react to magnetic vibrations, helping them navigate during flight. During his campaign, John F. Kennedy participated In the first televised presidential debates, his visual image played a decisive role in his victory. The human brain can consciously perform only one task at a time. Multitasking is simply rapid attention switching, not simultaneous work. IBM developed one of the first ATMs in the 1960s, but the technology did not spread until plastic cards became common. Some species of sharks can give birth without male participation. This process, called parthenogenesis, is extremely rare among vertebrates. Benjamin Harrison was the first president to install electric lighting in the White House. Yet, he feared touching the switches and asked servants to do it for him. The human brain is about 60% fat. Lipids are what allow our nerve impulses to travel quickly. Nintendo spent many years producing board games, playing cards, and even rice products before moving into video games. Some desserts bloom after rare rains, millions of seeds hidden beneath the sand. Sproutatons, transforming the landscape into a living carpet. The human body has its own ecosystem. Trillions of microbes live in the gut. Weighing up to 2 kilograms, they influence mood, memory, and even feelings of anxiety. And as these quiet facts continue to drift through your thoughts, they know them, Lete Hashem comme leto, like slow waves, carrying you gently toward rest. The coldest temperature ever recorded on the surface of the Earth was -89.2 degrees Celsius. It was measured in 1983 at the Vostok Research Station in Antarctica, a place where even sound seems to freeze in the air. Volvo invented the 3-point seat belt and, instead of locking it behind a patent, shared the technology freely with all car manufacturers. This single decision has saved millions of lives. Some birds appear to cry, releasing salty liquid through special glands. This allows them to remove excess salt after drinking seawater, quietly maintaining balance within their bodies. The human brain does not feel pain at the place where it originates. The sensation is created only after the signal passes through the filter of consciousness. Tati Waipin can feel stronger or weaker than the physical cause itself. History knows wars that began because of animals. In 1925, a conflict between Greece and Bulgaria started after a dog crossed the border and a border guard attempted to retrieve it. Honda began by producing bicycle engines, and its first cars were assembled by hand from improvised parts inside a ruined post-war garage. Some insect species can form colonies of more than 1 million individuals, functioning as a single organism. Each member performs only one task, yet together they create something remarkably complex. The human brain works most actively not during a task, but immediately after it, during rest. It is in these quiet moments that sudden insights and unexpected solutions appear. The very first firearms in history were created in China. Fire lancers used gunpowder, shutaro, and ceramic pellets. Adobe released the first version of Photoshop as an internal tool with no expectation. that it would change visual culture worldwide. Some animals perceive movement in slow motion. Flies and dragonflies have a visual frame rate several times higher than humans. They notice what, for us, blends into a single instant. Over a lifetime, the human heart contracts more than 3 billion times. Even after death, some individual cells can continue contracting for a short while. In the 10th century, doctors treated fractures using metal splints invented by blacksmiths. Surgery had not yet separated itself from craftsmanship. Tesla has patented fewer technologies than many other automakers. Elon Musk opened the patents for public use to accelerate the transition to electric transportation. Some octopus species can camouflage themselves, not only as rocks, but as other animals, including snakes and fish. They change not just color, but body shape. The human brain can recognize animal emotions through sound, even if the species has never been encountered before. This ability is considered an ancient evolutionary defense mechanism several kilometers beneath Earth's surface. Live microorganisms that do not depend on the sun. Des gains en énergie from chemical reactions within rocks. In the 1930s, IBM developed one of the first data analysis systems used for population accounting. These ideas later formed the foundation of computing machines. Some jellyfish species are nearly immortal. Under certain conditions, they can return to a juvenile form and begin their life cycle again. On the moon, there is a region called the Ocean of Storms. It contains no water, but is an ancient lava plain, covering millions of square kilometers. The human body contains roughly as many atoms as there are stars in the observable universe, about 7 octillion. In the 19th century, it was believed that Mars contained canals built by intelligent beings. This observation was an optical illusion, yet it inspired generations of writers and scientists. The human brain recognizes faces faster than any other object. This ability is deeply embedded in our evolutionary history. In some meta, under specific conditions, microcracks can actually self-heal. U.S. President Calvin Coolidge was known for his silence and earned the nickname S'il Cardinal. PayPal was originally developed as a service for transferring money between portable devices. Long before online banking became common, the human biological clock continues to function even in complete darkness. In nature, some animals can dramatically slow their metabolism, allowing them to survive extreme conditions. US President Barack Obama personally replied to some letters from citizens, selecting them at random. Adobe received its name from a river that flowed near the home of one of its founders. The human body can temporarily switch into an energy-saving mode. During prolonged hunger, the brain reduces energy consumption, slowing certain cognitive processes to preserve vital functions. U.S. President James Garfield did not die from his gunshot wound, but from infection introduced by doctors due to the lack of sterile instruments. Modern medicine would have saved him easily. Shell did not begin as an oil company, but as a trader of seashells. Its name comes directly from that early business. Some rock formations continue to move even without earthquakes. Under gravity and temperature changes, entire slopes slowly slide downward at just a few centimeters per year. The human brain can suppress memories. Unpleasant events may not be forgotten, but actively blocked to reduce psychological strain. Ulysses Grant, once a national hero, found himself nearly bankrupt. After leaving office, he wrote his memoirs to support his family. The book became one of the most successful historical works of its time. LG began as a manufacturer of cosmetics and toothpaste before entering electronics. There is no single organ responsible for the feeling of fatigue. It is the result of several systems working together: nervous, hormonal, and immune. In the Middle Ages, tower clocks within the same city often showed different times. Each church lived by its own count. Theodore Roosevelt became the youngest U.S. president at the moment he took office, not by election, but after the assassination of William McKinley. Some fish species produce antifreeze proteins that prevent their blood from freezing in icy waters. Uber began as a service for ordering black cars, for a narrow group of clients, not as mass transportation. The human body uses more energy to maintain a sitting posture than lying down, despite the appearance of rest. In ancient civilizations, debt prisons existed, where a person could spend an entire lifetime unable to repay what was owed. Franklin Roosevelt actively used radio addresses to speak directly to citizens, bypassing the press. This changed the format of political communication forever. Some plants can alter the chemical composition of their leaves when insects feed on them regularly, making themselves less edible over time. And as these facts continue to drift softly through your mind, there is no need to remember them. They're held only to pass be like thoughts rest. Sony was one of the first companies to prove on a mass scale that portable electronics could become more popular than stationary devices, quietly changing the way people interact with technology. The human brain continues to sort information even during sleep, processing the events of the day and gently reducing emotional tension, allowing the mind to rest more deeply. In the sang, there are regions where currents are almost empty. In these calm zones, floating debris can accumulate for decades, forming vast collections that slowly drift with time. U.S. President John Quincy Adams was the first president to be elected as the son of a former president. And later, after his term ended, he returned to active political life as a member of Congress. Some animals can see ultraviolet light, a part of the spectrum completely invisible to the human eye, revealing patterns and signals we can never perceive. Intel originally specialized in memory chips, not processors. It was only later that microprocessors brought the company global recognition. The human heart begins forming as one of the very first organs, long before the embryo takes on a recognizable shape, quietly setting the rhythm of life. In history, there were periods when paper was valued more highly than silver, due to the complexity of its production and limited availability. Before becoming president, Herbert Hoover was known as an engineer and humanitarian, organizing aid for millions of people across Europe. The human body can redistribute blood in emergency situations. In extreme cold or shock, blood flow to the skin decreases to protect vital organs. In 1881, U.S. President James Garfield was fatally wounded but lived for several months, largely because doctors searched for the bullet with unwashed hands, worsening the infection. Hyundai began as a construction company. Andon Lilaté entered the automotive and industrial markets. Some types of stones produce a sound when heated or rapidly cooled. These noises come from microcracks and the expansion of minerals. The human brain can automatically correct misheard words. That is why we sometimes fail to notice slips of the tongue in conversation after a stroke. President Woodrow Wilson governed the country in a limited capacity, while many decisions were made by those around him. Panasonic spent many years producing bicycles and household appliances before becoming a global electronics brand. Humans possess a reflex that makes yawning contagious. It is linked to empathy and social awareness, quietly connecting us to one another. In ancient cities, loags that forbade noise at night, people could be fined for loud conversations or even heavy footsteps. After leaving office, Harry Truman refused corporate offers and lived on a modest state pension. Some fungi can survive in radioactive environments, breaking down structures. Tatar Lutal. 2. Most living organisms. Philips began by manufacturing light bulbs, and for a long time had no connection to medical technology. During sleep, a human body loses its precise sense of weight. This is why dreams of flying or falling often occur in history. Books were sometimes banned, not for their content, but for being trop populaire among ordinary people. U.S. President William McKinley was the first to receive permanent protection from the Secret Service. Some animal can navigate by the stars, using the night sky as a living map. ASUS took its name from the final letters of the word Pegasus, so it would appear higher in alphabetical listings than competitors. The human brain can perceive hundreds of frames per second, though consciously we experience far less. In the Middle Ages, glass was so valuable that windows were sometimes inherited separately from houses. James Madison was the shortest U.S. president. Isate was about 5 feet 4 inches. Some plants sense the vibrations of insects and activate defensive chemicals before being eaten. Boeing originally produced boats en shape before entering aviation. The human heart can change the strength of its contractions based on body position without conscious control. In history, maps were sometimes intentionally distorted to conceal trade routes and strategic regions. Gerald Ford became the only U.S. president who was never elected as either vice president or président. Even in complete darkness, the brain maintains a sense of space using mémoire and internal models of the world. A human body can reduce sensitivity to pain, not only under stress, but even when pain is expected. Preparation alone activates natural analgesic mechanisms. In ancient Egypt, doctors used mold to treat wounds, unknowingly applying a natural antibiotic. Mitsubishi began as a shipping company, engaged in transport and trade, only later becoming an industrial conglomerate. The human brain can recognize familiar melodies even during sleep, as shown by EEG experiments. Abraham Lincoln was the first U.S. president to introduce income tax to finance a war. George Washington insisted that his body n'obéirait for 3 days after death, et feared being buried alive. Every human body has a unique scent, shaped by genetics and skin microbiota. It cannot be completely hidden. The perfume. During World War II, Toyota produced military trucks with a single headlight to conserve metal and energy. Some fungi can infect insects, fully controlling their movements until spores grow. From the host's body, Herbert Hoover was a professional engineer before entering politics, leading mining projects around the world. The human brain processes physical pain and emotional loss in the same neural centers. This is why heartbreak can feel physical. BMW used surplus materials from aircraft production for its first cars, recycling aluminum and steel. Deep in the ocean, there is a zone where pressure is so intense that metal deforms and most life cannot survive. Franklin Pierce studied law and became the only U.S. president ever arrested for a public order violation. An incident was quietly dismissed. Some animals can see ultraviolet patterns on flowers or feathers, revealing hidden designs beyond human vision. Amazon received its first investments from Jeff Bezos's parents, who mortgaged their home to support an online bookstore idea. A human body can adapt to high altitudes, increasing red blood cell and lung capacity within just a few weeks. There is no truth center in the human brain. Different regions handle facts, logic, and intuition. That is why a lie can feel true when it aligns with expectations. In 19th century London, a Victorian detective named Eugene Francois Vidocq was among the first to document footprints, long before criminology became a formal science. Siemens participated in creating Europe's first telegraph systems and later developed technologies for early X-ray machines. Some stars rotate so rapidly that a single rotation takes less than 1 second. And as these quiet facts continue to drift through your thoughts, there is nothing to remember, nothing to hold. Just let the mind slowly soften. As knowledge fades into rest, and rest becomes sleep, such objects are called pulsars. Distant, rotating stars, sending rhythmic signals through the silence of space. Like a calm, cosmic heartbeat, steady and endless. The very first criminal case solved using fingerprints happened in Argentina in 1892. It was solved by a woman police officer whose careful attention and patience placed her name forever in the history of forensic science. Quiet proof that observation can be stronger than force. The human brain is capable of creating false memories with such precision that a person sincerely believes in events that never actually happened. Memory is not a recording. It is a soft reconstruction shaped by emotion, expectation, and time. In the ocean, there exists a silent zone, a layer of water where sound barely travels at all. Fish and whales avoid this place because within it, predators cannot be heard, and silence becomes dangerous. The human body contains more bacterial cells than human ones. We are not just a body. We are an entire living ecosystem where microbes help digestion, support immunity, and even influence our mood in subtle, invisible ways. Some people have an extra muscle in the forearm, a remnant from primate ancestors that evolution was supposed to erase. Today, it appears in about 1 in 5 people. Doing nothing important, a quiet echo of the past resting beneath the skin. There are places on Earth where gravity is slightly weaker than usual. Objects weigh just a little less there due to the uneven distribution of mass within Earth's crust. A gentle reminder that even gravity is not the same everywhere. The human brain can turn off vision. If information seems unimportant, the brain simply stops processing it. That is why we can fail to notice even obvious changes happening directly in front of our eyes. In the vacuum of space, there is no absolute silence. Particles still interact, and some cosmic objects emit radio waves that can be translated into sound, turning the universe into a slow, distant symphony. Diamonds can burn. Under certain conditions and high temperatures, they oxidize and transform into carbon dioxide. They are, after all, just another form of carbon, ancient, compressed, and fragile in fire. Humans do not have a separate balance organ for sleep. As we fall asleep, the brain may mistake muscle relaxation for falling. This creates the sudden sensation of jerking awake, a brief moment between control and surrender. Over an average lifetime, a person walks a distance equal to 3 trips around the Earth. Even without sports, even while living a quiet, ordinary life. Some metals explode when they touch water. This happens because of an instant chemical reaction that releases enormous energy in a fraction of a second. Water has a memory of temperature. Even after heating and cooling, its molecular structure remains altered for a short time, as if remembering what it has been through. The human body has an emergency mode. Under extreme stress, the adrenal glands release hormones so rapidly that the liver immediately floods the blood with sugar, providing instant energy for survival. In his later years, George Washington wore dentures, not made of wood, as commonly believed, but from a mixture of gold, ivory, and human teeth purchased from donors, a reminder of how different medicine once was. In the 1980s, Pepsi briefly owned the sixth largest navy in the world. The Soviet Union paid part of its debt with submarines and ships, which were later sold for scrap metal. A strange chapter of economic history. Some trees can stand dead for decades. Their inner tissues have already died, but outer layers continue to transport water, creating the illusion of life. The human brain can make decisions before you realize it. Electrical signals linked to a choice appear fractions of a second before the conscious feeling of "I decided." Abraham Lincoln was a registered wrestler and lost only one match out of more than 300. A quiet strength behind a thoughtful face. BMW began by producing aircraft engines. That is why the logo symbolizes a rotating propeller against the sky. In nature, there exists a phenomenon called false dawn. Before the real sunrise, light can briefly weaken due to atmospheric scattering, creating the illusion that night is returning. The human heart can continue beating outside the body if supplied with oxygen and nutrients. This has been proven through experiments with donor organs. Franklin Roosevelt signed laws without standing up, but the American press was strictly forbidden to publish photographs revealing his disability. Nintendo was founded in the 19th century and originally produced playing cards, including those used for illegal gambling. Some people can sense earthquakes seconds before they happen. Scientists believe this may be linked to sensitivity to infrasonic vibrations. Every day, billions of cells die inside the human body, and we never notice. Regeneration continues quietly, constantly. Theodore Roosevelt survived an assassination attempt and still delivered a 90-minute speech before accepting medical help. Kodak invented the first digital camera, but chose not to develop it, fearing it would destroy its film business. Ils et au sang, their zones with travel. Thousands of kilometers with almost no loss. Natural acoustic tunnels hidden beneath the waves. During sleep, the home boundaries. That is why we can fall. Or fly. Inside our dreams. Ronald Reagan once worked as a lifeguard and personally rescued more than 70 people from drowning. Plants respond to touch. With constant contact, they grow shorter and thicker, reducing the risk of damage. Amazon began in a garage as an online bookstore. Its name was chosen to suggest something vast, endless, and powerful. The human body has a natural life filter. When a person lies consciously, brain activity increases more than when telling the truth, because two versions of reality must be held at once. Thomas Jefferson kept a live grizzly bear in the White House, a gift from explorers returning from the western frontier. Apple once stood on the edge of bankruptcy and survived only thanks to an investment from Microsoft, its main competitor. In nature, there are stone rivers, massive flows of boulders slowly moving down mountain slopes without water or ice. The human eye can distinguish around 10 million shades of color, but the brain remembers only a small fraction of them. After leaving office, Harry Truman received no presidential pension. At the time, it simply did not exist, and he lived on modest savings. Netflix began as a DVD by mail service, and streaming was long considered risky and unprofitable. Some people have mirror organ placement. The heart is on the right, the liver on the left. Rare, but fully compatible with life. In ancient cities, sewage systems were often better than those of European capitals in the 19th century. Many technologies were lost and rediscovered centuries later. Abraham Lincoln was the first U.S. president to wear a beard after taking the advice of an 11-year-old girl. In 1959, the Dyatlov Pass incident occurred in the Ural Mountains. 9 hikers died under mysterious circumstances. The tent was cut open from the inside. The bodies were scattered across the slope. And even today, the true cause remains not fully explained. The human brain is capable of creating a false sense of presence, the feeling that someone is standing nearby, even when no one is actually there. This effect often appears during intense stress or severe lack of sleep, and may explain some mystical visions described throughout history. When the mind, exhausted, begins to fill the silence on its own. In the 1950s, Lockheed Martin was rumored to be developing Project Aurora, an aircraft said to be capable of flying several times faster than the speed of sound. There is no confirmed proof of its existence, yet many pilots reported strange traces in the sky, unlike any ordinary jet contrails, leaving questions drifting quietly above us. In the ocean, there exists a mysterious sound known as the bloop, a powerful underwater noise recorded in 1997, so loud that hydrophones around the world detected it. For a long time, scientists wondered if it was the voice of an unknown giant creature, until it was later linked to the cracking and shifting of Antarctic ice. In 1962, on the island of Larian Union, a case of mass psychosis occurred. Hundreds of people claimed they were being bitten by an invisible vampire. Authorities never found a rational explanation, and the episode remains one of the most puzzling cases of collective suggestion in the 20th century. In the 1950s, Boeing conducted classified research into so-called anti-gravity systems. Despite the dramatic name, the project actually studied aircraft stability in near-weightless conditions. Many details remain partially classified even today. Human memory does not contain exact recordings of events. Each time we remember something, the brain rewrites the details, quietly editing the past. That is why eyewitness testimonies often contradict even themselves. In the United States, there is a mysterious place called Crater Lake. Scientists cannot fully explain why its water remains perfectly clear and contains almost no microorganisms. Its ecosystem exists in near total isolation from the rest of the world. During World War II, Siemens developed some of the first tape recorders with almost studio-quality sound. After the war, this technology reached the United States and became the foundation of the modern music industry. The human brain can hear sounds that do not exist. This effect is called an auditory illusion. At certain sound frequencies, neurons create their own echoes, and a person perceives phantom sounds, emerging from silence. In 1872, the ship Mary Celeste was found drifting in the Atlantic Ocean, completely intact, but without a single crew member on board. Food, personal belongings, even coffee cups remained untouched. The reason for the crew's disappearance has never been established. Some volcanoes emit glowing spheres of gas that ignite in the air. This phenomenon is known as St. Elmo's fire, and for centuries it was believed to be supernatural. Tesla once experimented with autonomous sensors capable of responding to impulses without a direct power source. Later, parts of this technology were adapted for modern smart grid systems. In the deep ocean live fish that use bioluminescence. They control light itself, creating illusions of movement to confuse predators in the darkness. In the 1930s, an entire settlement in Canada, Lake Anjikuni, vanished. Police found meals frozen in ovens and dogs strangled by their chains. There were no signs of struggle. Many theories exist. But no proof. Inside the human body exists a naturally radioactive element, potassium-40. Its radiation is harmless, but it makes every human being a faint, barely detectable source of radiation. There are cases in history where scientific discoveries occurred in dreams. Dmitri Mendeleev claimed the periodic table appeared to him while asleep. Chemist Kekulé described dreaming of a snake biting its own tail, revealing the structure of benzene. NASA accidentally discovered memory foam while developing insulation materials for space shuttles. Later, it became widely used in orthopedic mattresses. Some glaciers can move up to 2 meters per day, slowly, almost invisibly, yet with immense force capable of destroying everything in their path. The human brain can experience déjà vu, when a slight delay between perception and awareness causes the mind to duplicate the present moment, creating the illusion that it has already happened. In 1969, a program was accidentally launched in a Pentagon laboratory, creating the first computer network in history. Thus began the era of the Internet, born from an engineering era. Kodak invented the first digital camera in 1975. But executives believed the technology was too dangerous for a film-based business. 20 years later, the company went bankrupt. Some species of worms can regenerate from just a few cells. If divided, each piece can grow into a new organism. Scientists study this process for regenerative medicine. During his acting career, Ronald Reagan appeared in a film where he rescued a swimmer from the water. Years later, he repeated the act in real life, saving a drowning child. In 1938, archaeologists discovered a fish believed extinct for over 6 miljoen jaar oud. The discovery reshaped our understanding of ancient life survival. During World War II, IBM participated in the development of early electromechanical computing machines used to decode encrypted messages. Some birds, such as crows and parrots, are capable of making tools, bending wire using sticks, and even saving them for later use. In mid-20th century Germany, a mysterious metallic sphere was discovered. It rotated and did not rust for decades. The origin of the alloy remains unknown. The human brain can alter time perception under adrenaline. In moments of danger, fractions of a second feel stretched, as if the world slows down. Mercedes-Benz conducted crash tests long before they became standard practice, using volunteer engineers as test subjects. In 1820, the whaling ship Essex was sunk by a giant sperm whale. This story later inspired Herman Melville to write Moby Dick. Humans experience the phenomenon of phantom limbs. The sensation that an amputated arm or leg is still present. The brain continues to feel what no longer exists. Samsung once built an entire city for its employees, with housing, schools, and hospitals. The project was considered a corporate utopia. In nature, there are permanent thunderstorms, such as over the Catatumbo River in Venezuela, where lightning streamlined ailleurs. Theodore Roosevelt once refused to shoot a captured bear cub during a hunt. The story inspired the creation of the teddy bear. Some plants can change sex depending on environmental conditions, increasing the survival chances of the species. NASA initially used ordinary pencils for space missions until a pressurized ballpoint pen capable of writing in zero gravity was developed. In 1911, the Mona Lisa was stolen from the Louvre, and for a time, the most famous painting in the world simply disappeared into silence. The painting was missing for 2 full years and returned only after the thief was caught. It turned out to be a former museum employee, someone who knew the quiet corridors and hidden routines all too well. Inside the human body, there are so-called silent genes. They remain inactive for most of our lives, resting quietly in the background. But under stress or certain external conditions, they can awaken, subtly changing how the body responds to the world. In the 10th century, people believed that thunderstorms purified the air. Residents of Paris would intentionally walk in the rain during lightning storms, believing the charged air could extend life and cleanse both body and spirit. Google rents goats to trim the grass around its headquarters, replacing lawnmowers with an environmentally friendly living solution. Sometimes progress arrives not through machines, but through a return to something simpler and quieter. There are places on Earth where the magnetic direction constantly shifts. Compass needles tremble and refuse to settle. This happens because of molten iron flowing beneath the surface, slowly reshaping the planet from within. In 1977, a radio telescope in the United States detected a powerful 7 to 2 second signal from space. It became known as the WOW signal. To this day, no one knows where it came from. Or what s'en it? The human brain can predict another person's words. Brain scans show neurons activating fractions of a second before familiar phrases are spoken. That is why we sometimes finish each other's sentences, as if thoughts quietly align. In 1932, scientists discovered bacteria capable of surviving at temperatures above 120 degrees Celsius. Until then, life under such conditions was considered impossible. IBM invented the first magnetic stripe bank cards almost by accident. An engineer simply attached a strip of magnetic tape from a voice recorder onto a plastic card, finding a new way to store memory. Some animals actually use fire. Australian birds of prey have been observed carrying burning sticks in their beaks to spread fire. Attention à die small law animals out of hide. Taft was so large that a custom chair had to be made for him in theaters, and entrances to the White House were widened so he could pass comfortably. The human brain cannot truly taste without smell. Up to 80% of flavor perception comes from scent rather than the tongue. In the 1970s, NASA lost the original video recordings of the moon landing after tapes were reused. Some of the data was later restored from copies, but the originals were gone forever. Some jellyfish can completely stop moving on the ocean floor, waiting out unfavorable conditions, and then return to active life months later, as if waking from a long sleep. Deep beneath the ocean lies a biosphere we barely understand. Creatures live there under thousands of atmospheres of pressure, where conditions that would destroy us feel as normal as air. Toyota applies principles of Zen in its production system. Any worker can stop the entire assembly line if they notice a mistake. This philosophy has saved millions of cars from becoming flawed. Certain natural sounds, like ocean waves or rustling leaves, contain fractal rhythms that calm the brain. The mind recognizes familiar patterns within them and gently relaxes. Through telescopes, we see light from stars that left them millions of years ago. Every glance at the night sky is a look into the past, where time quietly flows backward. The human brain can experience a sense of eternity, a state where time seems to disappear. It can be triggered by deep emotion, meditation, art, love. And perhaps this feeling is the most accurate definition of life itself. My dear friends, this brings our lecture for tonight to a close. The world is vast, mysterious, and endlessly beautiful. And every piece of knowledge, even the smallest one, brings it a little closer, a little clearer. Close your eyes now. Let these facts turn into dreams, and let those dreams become a soft light that stays with you through the night. Thank you for being here with me today. Sleep peacefully. Good night.